guys, Charlani here. So I want to give you some really good meal prepping tips because these are things that I have tried and I've learned and taught myself over, the last couple of years when I'm trying to get my meal prepping done. And one of the, two really big reasons why people have such a hard time with meal prepping, or they dread it, or they don't want to do it, is that one, they don't want to clean their mess that they've made, and two, it's an unorganized process. But there are things that you can do before you even start that will make the process much, much easier. So the first thing is you want to start with a clean kitchen. You want to start with empty countertops and put all of your dishes in the dishwasher, get your dishwasher run and unload it so that while you're cooking, you can clean as you go. You can put bigger bowls and things that would clutter up your countertops. You can stick them right there in a dishwasher. And all you'll have to do at the end is stick a dish tab in it and run it, right? So that's my first tip, is you gotta start with a clean kitchen, and then you need to clean as you go. Keep your area organized. So what I like to do is I always have a dish towel out, just laid on my countertop. And when I use a certain utensil that I know I'm gonna need again, like if I have, a teaspoon that I know that I'm gonna need for vanilla, but I also know that I'm going to need it again for soy sauce, then I just give it a quick rinse and I just stick it on my countertop so that it's there ready to go. I don't have to go and find something when I need it. I don't have to clean dishes as I go too. So that's another tip that saves me all the time, right? So you want to make sure you rinse that and get it off to the side so it's ready for you when you need it again. The next thing is I have what's called a garbage bowl. You can have one or two of these. So if you're prepping for roast potatoes and you're cutting off, or you're cutting off those brown spots that you just don't want on there, or you're peeling potatoes because you're gonna make mashed potatoes, then I have one bowl that I use to put all of those droppings, because basically it can be used for compost, and that's what I do with that. You can have another bowl for just garbage, like packaged wrappers, your meat wrappers, the bags that your produce comes in if you're prepping just your vegetables and things like that. Then I have two bowls here, and I will just use, whichever one obviously you're putting in there. So that's another tip that you want to keep in mind. You want a place to make sure that you put everything. We have company. You can come say hi, Robbie. If you need to walk by me, you absolutely can. That's fine. Okay, so the other thing is you want to make sure that you've got your pots and pans ready to go. As you can see on my stove top, I'm going to be making chili, so I've got my big pot here. I've also got my two pans here because later I'm going to be making my grilled chicken and roasting some asparagus and things like that. So I've got everything ready. It's all clean and it's all ready to go. So the other thing is your utensils. Do you need tongs? Do you need a spatula? Do you need wooden spoons? Do you need heavy metal spoons to mix things? You're gonna wanna make sure that all of those things are ready to go. So again, you don't have to go in and look for a bunch of stuff. You know where that stuff is. And if you're like me, you have a bazillion cooking items in your kitchen, and sometimes if you've not used something in a while, it takes a while to find them, and you don't want to be browning your garlic while you're trying to find a spatula to move it around. So you got to have your utensils that you're going to need ready to go. All right, so the other thing is things to measure with. I just talked about the measuring spoons, things like this that I rinse them. But if you have more than one of the same size, pull them out, or at least know exactly where to go. If you want to keep them in a drawer, that's fine, but just make sure that you know where they're at. I always have a teaspoon, a half teaspoon, and tablespoons and a half tablespoon always ready to go, and I know exactly where they're at. And then you're going to want to make sure that you've got measuring cups and however you want to use them. And same thing applies. If you need it again, just rinse it out. Keep it on that dish towel. And then you're gonna want to, whatever you use, you know, whatever recipe you are using, if you're making a meal from a recipe, you're gonna wanna take a look at what those ingredients are and what measuring tools you're going to need for that, right? So you're gonna get all of your ingredients out, get it on the countertop, make sure it's all ready to go so you're not going in and having to find everything. And then at the end, when you've prepared everything, it's all ready, you need to have a place to put it. And like I said before, a lot of the reason why people don't like to meal prep is because they're not prepared. And they end up having to frantically find something because they've got things cooking and they've got to get it out of the pan, but they don't have anything to put it in. So I always use, these are my meal prep containers. I have some larger ones, which I didn't pull out. I should have, but they're round and they're just a lot bigger. So when I do like a buffet style meal prep, I'll just put everything in there. When I'm doing individual meals, I use these right here. And these are Chefland meal prep containers, and I get them on Amazon, and they're not very expensive. I want to say, and I could be wrong, you get like 10 for maybe 10 bucks, if that. So it's a really, really good price. So the other thing is you want to make room in your refrigerator for all of your meal prepped items, because once you've got it in there, you need a place to put it. So clean out your refrigerator and make sure that you have a place for everything. So those are my meal prepping tips for you guys. I hope that helps. You know, I get it. I started meal prepping from scratch, and I remember the first couple of times it was a disaster. It took hours and hours to get things done. It was stressful because I had things cooking and I didn't have the right utensils or the right place to put things when I was done with them. There was no room in the refrigerator. So as long as you address those before you start, you will have a successful meal prepping day. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. If you have any comments or suggestions or would like to hear more specific topics, please let me know, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, thanks guys, bye.